Reefers need a better quarantine setup, says that guy. And I just saw his most recent video, and he still has ick in his tank. Got very expensive stuff too. And this guy, he's setting up a proper quarantine tank, unlike this guy, Scott Anderson. Yeah, I know who you are. This guy, he spent way too much money on his quarantine. Under $225. That's way too much. About 80 bucks. 80 bucks should be fine. Save the rest for medication. So anyways, the proper way to set up a quarantine tank is with a glass bottom and a power filter. You don't use an air stone for salt water, because you're trying to lower your salinity, and an air stone is going to make that shit creep right back up real quick. What you use are sponge pre-filters to slow down the flow and to catch stuff. You can replace these. You can keep a couple of them and keep one clean all the time, and then just swap in a clean one every time it gets dirty. I highly recommend when you do your vacuum out to suck all the big shit off of it before you take it out of there. Otherwise, all that big shit's going to go in the water. So what do you need? You need a heater. You don't need a thermometer. You just need to make sure the fucking water feels the same as your tank before you put them in. You got to feel exactly the same with the same hand. Go back and forth a couple times with the same hand. Don't use two different hands, because one hand could be, giving a different reading than the other hand. But what you need is a glass bottom. The most important thing to actually get rid of ick, as opposed to getting your fish to stop showing symptoms, Scott Anderson. That's all you're doing, is getting your fish to stop showing symptoms. To actually get rid of the ick, you need to get rid of the ick. Technically, the only way to really be sure about it is the tank transfer method. So bear that in mind when you clean out the bottom of your quarantine tank. You have to get it shiny, like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck. I watch Moana too much. Okay, but I have fucking kids, so, that happens. I bet you Scott Anderson has watched Moana way more than he cares to admit it. So anyways, I want to go smash every fucking Petco in the world, because they sold us this yellow tang with Brucanella, and I call them, I see it, they got API products, right? You got fucking Quick Guard, you got Mardell Quick Cure still? Fucking PetSmart sells Mardell Quick Cure. Petco, you got it? And I talked to the guy, he doesn't have a quarantine setup, he doesn't even have any of this for him, okay? He has nothing. He just got a bunch of fucking sick fish, and he can't even sell you a medication to cure your sick fish. How is that fucking legally allowed to go on? Okay? So anyways, this is what you need to actually keep your fish healthy. Alright? This is for your freshwater, to get the pH up. This is for sensitive fish. This is for tough fish. This is for all fish. This is for every couple hours to keep your ammonia from spiking. As opposed to prime, which will neutralize this and this. Okay? Stress coat, still good stuff. Freshwater dip. Okay? Saltwater dip. Long-term medication. Long-term medication for broodstock, or maybe seahorses or something like that. Something that doesn't like copper. Mandarin fish. Fowler systems. Warning. It will probably kill your fucking bristleworms. If it doesn't, you're probably not using enough. Which is the reason why I don't have that in there. It won't really kill any of your corals. It might shrivel some of your softer skeleton corals up for a while. But, So does dropping the salinity. Yeah, isn't that horrible? Oh yeah, by the way, new background. Look at everything's looking nice now that I can't have any fucking fish in there. Oh, look at the naturally grown coralline algae. As opposed to, real reef. I get sick of seeing that shit. Your rocks aren't supposed to be completely purple, people. There's other corals, there's other different things that are supposed to grow on them. Look. See that? That's olive green coralline algae. See that? That's a fucking yellow sponge. Yellow sponges just growing everywhere, okay? I hardly have any coralline algae on the rocks in here because I got too much damn caloric. Still, yeah. Nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this at all. That's why I got the tank. Anyways. See, the thing is, the cycle. Okay? The cycle requires substrate. If you want substrate in your hospital tank, vacuum out all the substrate, and then put some more substrate in there. Have a substrate cleaning regimen if you want to go through all that trouble. Hey, Bubbles. Look at you, huh? They are much better. Ooh. Yeah, 2 days ago. I finished adding water to that. A little bit on the full side. There, back to backing them out. So you really want to be serious about saving your fish's life? Every few hours, come in there and fucking clean the bottom of that tank again. At least, like I've been doing them, every morning before you turn the light on, as you're turning the light on. Minimal amount of light. Okay? The encrusted tomite of the ick or whatever doesn't hatch until it smells fish and sees light. Okay? So if I want to cycle this out, I go to the store, buy some fish oil, put it in there. All the tomites are going to fucking hatch out, thinking, oh, there's a feast waiting for us. I got to wait a week, okay? If I wait a week at high temperatures, then I add the fish oil, another week, that shit's going to be clean, okay? No 6 weeks. You don't need to do that. You need a fucking glass bottom. Okay? And trust me, by the time these fish are completely cured, if you've done high temperatures, right below bleaching anemones, like I'm so good at with this tank, 81 degrees, if you can. Raise the temperature a little bit, if you can. But, anything above fucking 72 is going to be increasing the life cycle of the ick. It's going to be filtering through just fine. By the time you can put that fish oil in there, all the ick is going to hatch out. Say 7-10 days later, put the fish oil in there. And within 48 hours, it will all die in the water, unable to find hosts. And then, because you didn't have any substrate, you weren't letting a small infection hide and then keep infecting your fish until they could just cope with it with their immune system. It's not going to get back into your system. The bucket tipped over. That was exciting. So anyways, this is the stuff that you need for an effective quarantine system right here. Pipes, really secondary. For like a new fish, pipes. Once you got a sick fish, take the fucking pipes out of there. I'm about to remove that plate today. I know I've been saying about to do it, but shit happened. And their egg problem is just the last of my concern right now. They got a fucking couple of white spots every couple of days. It's a big deal. I've switched them over to copper now from Paragard, and they'll be fine. soon as I can get down there and get the energy to squat and get that fucking plate out of there, I'm pulling the plate and I'm pulling those pipes. Why? Because the cysts can encrust to that shit. And I want to be able to clean that filter, take the damn sponge off of it, replace the sponge, clean out the bottom of that tank, and have no cysts left in that tank, except for maybe, and this is where the theory gets theory. Okay, theory. Okay, not fact, not anecdotal. It's theory. It's been drawn out. It's been bared by evidence, but it hasn't been conclusively proven. Okay, a cyst is not going to establish in a high current area. So your filter media, your biomedia, that can stay biomedia. Put that shit in a receptacle. Do not rinse that with anything but the tank water. Then you take your sponge filter, you take your sponge pre-filter, you take your AquaClear sponge, you take those and you go and fucking hot cold their asses. You get them real clean, and then put the cold water on, suck up all the cold water. Bring it out, put the hot water on, suck up all the hot water. I have an imaginary sponge in my hand. I'm not just like, trying to have alien sex with you. Okay. Anyways. Hot, cold, hot, cold. Okay. Fully hot, underneath. Fully cold, underneath. One is, you wait until the water gets hot before you apply it. You wait until the water gets cold before you reapply it. You want to shock the shit out of whatever's there. Okay, in those sponge filters. But your biomedia, if you got Fluval Biomax or Seachem Matrix or whatever, the cysts are more than likely, if there's no detritus, in a hospital tank, you shouldn't have detritus on your fucking body. Oh, look, that's Fluval Biomax and Seachem Matrix, because I'm fancy. But you shouldn't have detritus on there that can catch the stuff. Okay, everything should just be flowing right by that biomedia. So the cyst should not encrust there. See down there in the bottom of that tank where I have the current blasting? Nothing's going to encrust there. Everything's going to encrust here. Over here I have an air stone on one side because they just look like they needed extra oxygen. And I have the AquaClear on the other side. The food collects over there underneath the AquaClear. Food collects under there underneath the air stone. See? Where the current goes, it slowly pulls everything that's dragging. And you can fan out from that point and see little specks of dust while you're cleaning, and you can determine how far out you need to really scrub. Okay? Once you get done with the basic stuff, though, I will go and I will fucking scrub the whole goddamn thing. Okay? And then, after that, turn the filters down